right.
Rolling, working.
Hey everyone,
Episode
welcome back
6.
to Wherever It Goes. This is episode 6.
Been a while, huh?
Last week we took a break. We didn't record an episode.
Yep. So I think we'll just continue to do that. 5 episodes, take a break for a week because it was nice to take a break. It started to become a lot.
Yeah.
We'd gone for a month and 6,000 followers on Instagram, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wherever It Goes podcast. Go check it out. Join the community. Because I think we're going to need some help coming up with ideas if we're going to continue this for very long on what to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll post questions on our stories and stuff and have our audience kind of contribute.
Yeah.
You had a lot.
What?
So we had a lot of mean comments too. And so it was nice to
yeah.
take a break from that too.
Yeah, those comments started to get to me. In this last week, I did not look at any social media. I didn't even open Instagram or Facebook or anything.
How many times have you deleted social media and then re-downloaded it?
So I've deleted social media because I decide, okay, I'm done. I don't want to do social media anymore. Like, I don't want to look at it. But then we started the podcast and I was like, well, if we're going to do this podcast, like, I have to download social media to like keep track of how the podcast is doing and to reply to people's comments when they ask questions. But then it just started to become a lot, and it started to get to a point where there was a lot more mean comments than nice comments.
Yeah.
And I let it get to me a lot. And then so I deleted all of the social media again. And then I forgot why I re-downloaded it. I think I wanted to like look up somebody on Instagram or something. But I've not been opening it at all to like look at the podcast pages or even my pages at all. What I've been doing instead is reading. I've mentioned that before, that I started reading books.
What are you reading?
Right now, I'm reading the ACOTAR series.
Is that what the cool kids call it? ACOTAR?
Yeah, because it's called A Court of Thorns and Roses, but you abbreviate it to ACOTAR.
Okay.
But anyway, it's so good. I read the first book in like 2 days, and then I loved it so much that I bought the second book right away. Like the second I finished the first book, I went straight to Walmart, bought the second one, finished that in 2 days, that book is like 400 more pages than the first one or something.
Yeah,
and I
like
finished
3
that
inches
in
thick.
2 days.
2 inches thick.
Yeah, I've been staying up till like midnight every night just reading for hours and hours and hours. It's so good. I just cannot put it down. The storyline is so good. So now I'm on the third book.
It's
started
surprising.
it 2 days ago, and I'm halfway through it. I've kind of slowed down on the reading because I've kind of let like all the chores and like the house become a mess because I've just been so into reading. Any spare time I get where I'm not like taking care of the kids, I was like sitting down and reading.
Even when you're feeding Shepherd, you're reading.
Yeah. When I'm cooking dinner while I'm waiting for water to boil or something, I had my book in my hand.
That's so crazy. Yeah, you usually go to bed at like 9.
Mm-hmm.
And now you've been going to bed at like 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Because you're just sitting there reading. Maybe.
And he got me a book light.
Yeah, maybe that was a mistake, as you say.
For a long time, I was using my phone flashlight. And I would like sit it on my chest and I would like lay down and read my book with my little phone flashlight. And one day I was like, Carlos, can you get me a book light? Can you order me one?
Yeah.
And he got me one, and I've been using it every night since.
I probably shouldn't have.
But if you think about it, like all those times that I pick up my book, you think it's like kind of strange, like I'm reading my book in all my spare time. But if you think about it, in all that spare time before I started reading books, I had my phone in my hand and I was scrolling social media.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I was waiting for the water to boil while I was making noodles or something, like I had my phone in my hands. I was scrolling in the bathroom on my phone, scrolling. But now I'm reading instead. And what's crazy is that I find myself starting to talk how like books are written, if that makes sense.
What in the
Like
world?
I've been using bigger words. I've been
Does it have a
using,
lot of big words?
yeah,
Like what?
there's just a wider range of vocabulary. But I've been like using different words than I would ever use before, and I've been talking in like complete sentences. And what's crazy is the dreams that I've been having. I thought that I would be like dreaming um about like the book and the storyline, but I'm not. I'm dreaming about reading the book. Like,
Wait, what?
yeah.
You're dreaming. So your dreams are
In
you
my
sitting there
dream, I'm just reading.
and are you like seeing words on a page or like what is
No,
that?
no. It's what's crazy is like my dreams are the story that I've already read replaying, but I can hear the words that I read and like the full sentences. It's really
So you're
strange.
like watching yourself read a book in your dreams?
I'm like, no, like I'm reading the book in my dreams, but it's like actually happening. But it's like you're watching a movie,
What?
but it's narrated and the narration is what I read in my mind and it's my voice.
Okay, so you're playing out what you read
Yeah.
and then you're like visualizing.
Yeah, it's really
And you don't really dream,
crazy.
right? You don't really have a lot of dreams. So it's kind of
I
weird
mean,
for you to
I have dreams, I just don't remember them like the second I wake up. Like sometimes I can like remember very vague like memories of the dream, but yeah,
weird.
it's really strange. And not only that, but like when I'm thinking to myself throughout the day, just doing anything, I start to like think in like book. I don't even know how to explain it. I don't even know how to explain it. Like I'm thinking
The way that the
and
author has written the book, you're kind of like narrating your own life in that way.
yeah, I'll be like, like for example, I'll be like in my brain, like Phoebe will do something and my brain will go, Phoebe picked up the green, Phoebe picked up the green marker as she twirled her hair or something like that. Like my brain just starts to think like that. It's very
Weird.
strange.
Maybe you
Yeah.
should write your own book.
I thought about it, but like seeing how these books have been written, it's so I mean, you have to put so much thinking into that and so much planning, like who the characters are going to be and like you have to pretty much plan out and like write their entire life's story before you even start writing the book. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have to obsess and create your own world. I think of
Yeah.
like The Hobbit is a good example of that, or probably a more common example than A Court of
Mhm.
Thorns and Roses. Because yeah, the author had created this whole world with different languages and it's a lot of work. Sounds like a lot of work. Sounds like you have to have some sort of like you got to be on the spectrum to
No, I don't think that I could write a book like that because I don't have first of all, I don't have the time to sit there and like think up a whole world and all these characters and their life stories.
yeah.
Um but also I think it would just take me like 10 years to write even one of those books. Seriously.
10 years to write one.
There's so much it's just
Do you know how long it took the author?
I don't know.
What's her name? Who wrote
Sarah
it?
J. Maas.
And she's new or
I don't think so. I don't know.
because these books are
She
new,
has
right?
a lot of no. I don't think so.
Or they're
But
just blowing up
they're just
recently?
blowing up recently. But Nikki told me to read it like 2 years ago when we went over to their house. She was like, "You need to read this book."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Nah, I'm not really much of a reader. Maybe I'll get to it." Um and then like a month ago it started blowing up and I was like, "You know what? Like I one of the things I wanted to do this year was start reading, so I guess I'll just read it." Obsessed.
Yeah.
Obsessed. I would even say, I would even go as far to say that A Court of Thorns and Roses, and this is going to blow your mind, is better than Vampire Diaries.
Oh my goodness. Does that mean you're going to read it multiple times?
Probably. I've already thought about stopping where I'm at and rereading the first 3. Just because, like, the first time you read it, you're like, "What? What?" And it's like all these crazy things at the end of the book. And then I'm like, I want to go and reread it from this person's like perspective, from their point of view. It's just crazy. Also, they're making a TV show, not movies, but a TV show of A Court in Thorns and Roses. And rumor, I don't even know if this is true, but rumor has it that they have not picked a cast yet. And
You're not.
I have no acting experience. None.
Yeah.
No acting experience, but I want to audition to play Feyre so bad.
How does the book describe Farah?
Feyre, she's described to look like me.
Actually?
Yes. Brown hair.
Wings.
She doesn't have wings she's a human in the beginning.
Explain this to me. So what is this book about? Farah is a human that kills fairies or hunts fairies, or
No.
what's the premise?
She's just a human girl. Her family was very rich. If you haven't read it and you want to read it, skip this part because there's going to be spoilers. I'm going to spoil it. But her family is very rich. When she was younger, her father lost his fortune. Her mom died. And then they were like in the lowest of low poverty that you could be in. And they were like on the brink of starving. So she decides, okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to learn how to hunt. And so she goes and she like, after a few years of like hunting, she's out in the woods and it's the middle of winter. So there's no animals out for her to even hunt. But she happens to come across this deer. And she aims her bow at this deer, and then she looks over and she sees this giant wolf. And she's like, I wonder if that is a fairy, because that is the biggest wolf I've ever seen. And
What?
Humans hate fairies.
Wait.
Fairies. There's this giant invisible wall that like separates the human realm from the fairy realm, from Prithian.
So she sees a wolf and thinks it's a fairy?
Yes, because it's a gigantic wolf. It's not a regular wolf.
That still doesn't make sense. So
because fairies come in all shapes and sizes.
When you say fairy,
there could be fairies that look like animals. There could be fairies that have the regular wings, and then there's fairies that look like humans.
Yeah, when you say fairy, I'm thinking, I immediately go to Tinkerbell.
Yeah,
but you're saying that that's
not like that. It's not like Tinkerbell.
So fairy is just a shape-shifting creature?
No, like it's like how humans have a bunch of different races. Like in the fairy world, there's a bunch of different races of fairies. And so some of them look like us, look like
Well,
people,
you're not
but they
talking
have
like
pointed
you're
ears.
not saying like there's black and white fairies. You're saying that there's
like
ones
species. Like species.
So it's more like mammals or something. Like fairies are like saying mammals or reptiles. Like they're their own. What are those called? Those aren't species.
Yes.
But what's your animal group or something? So you're saying that they have different kinds of fairies.
Yeah.
And some look like giant wolves.
No. But some of them can shapeshift, but all fairies have magic. And so they can
Yeah, I thought this
all
would be
fairies
simpler.
have magic, and so they can like disguise themselves. It's called putting a glamour on them. Anyway, so she's like, this is a gigantic wolf. I wonder if it's a fairy, but they're not allowed to come on this side of the wall, so I doubt it. But she had this ash arrow, and the ash arrow, ash is supposedly, it was rumored to be like the only thing that can hurt fairies. And so she gets out the ash arrow just in case, and she's like, this wolf is about to eat my dinner. Like, I cannot let that happen. So the wolf attacks the deer, and she shoots the wolf, and then she takes another arrow and shoots it in the eye. And then the wolf died, and she skinned it. And anyway,
So it was a fairy?
It was a fairy. And then so they're inside eating this deer that she just killed, her and her family. And then this creature, it was a fairy, but shapeshifted into this crazy creature, walks it, like beats down the door and comes in and is like, who killed the wolf? Who killed the wolf? And then takes Feyre and takes her to Prithian, which is the fairy realm. Anyway, that's as far as I'm gonna go. But
Was that the whole first book?
That's just like the first 20 pages.
So that just sets up the rest of what happens.
Yes.
And so Feyre is a human,
Mm-hmm.
and it describes her as short with glasses and brown hair.
No. It just says that she is not ugly, but not like the prettiest person.
It actually says that about her?
Yeah. She's like, I'm by no means ugly, but I'm also not as pretty as my sisters. Which I felt that. And then it says she has gold brown hair. And that it's long. That's pretty much all it says about her. And that she's got like pale skin. But I really like connect with things that she has been through and things that she goes through along in the books. And
yeah, like killing a giant wolf and then getting captured by fairies.
No, it's deeper than that. But I was like, dang, I really like, when I picture Feyre in the book, I see myself, kind of. And I was like, I heard that the ACOTAR series was going to be a TV show, and I was like, I want to play Feyre so bad. I want to play Feyre so bad because I feel like I could just do it. I feel like I wouldn't even need to act because I would just like, I just feel like I am her, you know? I have no acting skills whatsoever, but Sarah J. Maas, if you see this and you're looking for a Feyre, I'll audition. I'll let you see what I got. I can sing.
I would like to see what you got. Is there a lot of singing in the...
No. She's a painter. She likes to paint. I like to paint. I can paint.
Huh. Well, good luck with that. I think there's a lot of shows that you would like to be a part of.
No, just that one.
No, because you said you wanted to audition for Survivor.
That's different. That's not acting. That's like a game.
But
I think I could win Survivor. I really do. Because
I don't know.
I can be a sneaky snake.
I think the way you would get to the end is you'd be that one person that they just bring to the end because they know you're gonna lose.
Rude. First of all,
they're like, Emily's not a threat, so I want her to sit next to me.
But I feel like I'm always.
You know how there's always that one person.
Yeah,
like, And then when they all try to like give their pitch to the jury or whatever, that one person is like, "Well, I made it," and then no one has questions for that person.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that would not be me. No, I would be. I have faith that I would be like the top dog.
I don't think you could be as manipulative as is required for you to make it that far. Has anyone made it that was like, has anyone made it to the end that was completely truthful? Or I didn't watch it. That was another show that you got really into.
I'm not even going to comment on what I would do because I'm going to be on Survivor one day.
You don't want to reveal
and I don't want to reveal my strategy.
Well, you can. Do it.
No.
That's it. You're so confident that you're so confident that you're gonna be on Survivor, and then 2, you're so confident that this strategy is gonna work.
No, you know what? Honestly, what I honestly think would happen is if I went on Survivor, I would make it like
merge.
I would make it to the merge, and then my back would give out.
Oh yeah, yeah. You would do a challenge, and
my back would.
You would have some sort of challenge where, yeah, it puts you in a weird pose, like one that you have to balance something on your head or hold something up for hours, and yeah, you would pass out, and then
my back is so bad.
They would have to, you would.
My neck and my back, not the 2 other things.
You would probably collapse when they're walking in. when they have to walk
I'm
from,
like, oh, God, I got
yeah,
a cramp. I got a cramp, guys.
and you got to walk from the
The
camp
first
to
challenge. No, the first challenge. They're
yeah,
like, you need to swim back. They
the
have to like
camp.
raft me over
Can
there.
you even swim?
Yeah, I can swim. I'm a great swimmer.
I
I
haven't seen you
taught
swim
you
that
how to
much.
swim. What are you talking about?
You were really pregnant when I was learning how to swim.
Yeah, I literally taught you how to swim. So what do you mean, can you
Did
swim?
you? I don't
Yes.
remember that. That was
I
such a while
we
ago.
were at the
That was like 3 years
it
ago.
was at the Dabney house and we were in the pool and I was teaching you and Atticus was there and I was teaching you how to swim and then you decided that when you went back to Yuma you were going to go into the pool and like teach yourself how to swim.
Well, we were doing a not a like triathlon. Is that run, bike, swim?
Yeah.
So we did that, and so I had to learn how to swim. I was fine at endurance and stuff. My way of swimming is like keeping my head above the water, and I know that
Doggy paddle.
yeah, well, kind of. It's like a doggy paddle meets freestyle.
Like the
So
frog legs.
so I'm looking up, and I'm just like a big dog.
Did you take swim lessons as a kid, like
No,
in school? See, is that a thing is that just a West Coast thing? Because
you took swim
I
lessons
took, it was required. It
in
was
school.
PE.
You guys had
Yeah.
a swimming pool in your school.
No, we had this, the high school had a swimming pool and they would for PE, they would load us on the bus since kindergarten. Kindergarten, I started swim lessons. They would load us on the bus. We would go to, the high school swimming pool and for an hour we would sit there and they taught us how to swim. Then we would take a quick shower, put our clothes on, and go back to school. And then
What in the
everybody
world?
that I've talked to and asked that question to that is not from the West Coast, they're like, we didn't have swimming lessons. And a lot of people don't know how to freaking swim. And I was like,
Yeah.
I learned how to swim so early. But I think also because it's a West Coast thing, like where there's like the ocean there. So I think that I don't know if that's like part of the requirement, if that's why there's a requirement for us to learn how to swim, but
Weird. Yeah, no, we never got taught how to swim. So that was like a PE thing for
yeah.
you?
Yeah, like every year for like a whole semester. Well, we didn't even have it's weird. We didn't even have semesters. We had trimesters. So it was split up into 3 and one trimester of every year we would like PE was just swimming.
Where did you go to school? You went to school with like 100 people, right? Like you had a small class.
I graduated with like 30 people.
Yeah, I graduated with like 300.
Yeah. So when I was very little, I went to a small school. Um like up until 3rd grade. That school got shut down because it was so small. Couldn't
Hmm.
get the funds to stay open anymore. So then I ended up going into the closest town cuz our school wasn't even in a town. Um it was like 20 minutes from the nearest town. And then so I ended up having to go to school in the town that we lived next to. And that was a lot bigger. It started in 4th grade. It was a lot bigger, um, huge, weird adjustment. And then started. So 4th grade, I went there. Then 5th grade, I went there for like a couple of months and then we moved. And I started going to Crow, which is like this super small school. There was like probably 15 people in my class at that point. Um, and then I started 6th grade there and then moved back to the middle school from the original town that I lived in. Crazy. And then I went there and stayed there until 8th grade and I had my freshman year at that high school in that town, which was big. My class was like 400 people.
Hmm.
And then started my sophomore year there. Dropped out my sophomore year because we had to move again back to Crow. And at that point, I was like, I don't want to go to Crow. I don't want to see those people again. I want to go to I didn't want to go to his tiny school. So I went to the next town over and went to that school, which was called Elmira. And it was smaller than the school that I went to, but it was the biggest school nearby that I could go to. So I wanted to do that. I went there for like 3 weeks and I was like, I don't like it here. I'm going to do online school. So I started online school and then something in me decided I'm not doing school anymore. I just want to work, and I dropped out. And then junior year rolls around and all my friends are starting school, and that was the point where I was like, you know what? Okay, I want to get my life together. I want to do better. So I went to Crow, the tiny school that I originally did not want to go to. I went to the high school. And the class was like, so I went and they were like, you have to, since you didn't finish your sophomore year, you have to start your sophomore year here. And I was like, well, that really sucks because all the people that, like, these people know
You had
me.
to
I
start
went
over?
to school with them. I had to start my sophomore year over. So I was held back a grade. And I was really embarrassed because these people that I knew in high school, or that I knew in like 5th and 6th grade, it was that all those same people. The town was so small, the class didn't change.
Yeah. But they were a year ahead of you.
They were a year ahead of me, and I was really embarrassed because, and a lot of them, I know for sure, a lot of them were like asking questions like, isn't that Emily? And then they used my old last name that I had. They're like, isn't that Emily? And wasn't she in our class? Why is she held back a year? And like they would ask questions and like stare at me. It was really weird. And I was so embarrassed. And
Were you
so
popular in your grade then? If you were, I guess you would be like a year older than everyone in your grade. So
yeah. I mean, I wasn't popular, but I definitely was like, I felt like a lot of them looked up to me in a way.
Mm.
Really weird. It was such a weird
public
dynamic.
school is weird.
But anyway, so the class that I was in, it was like 20 people. The class that was one grade ahead of me at that point, the class that I was originally supposed to be in, was the biggest. It was like 30 people, and it was the biggest class that that district had seen in like years. And so there was a lot less people in the sophomore class that I was in. And I talked to the principal and everything, and I was like, hey, I really, really want to graduate on time. I do not want to do 3 more years of school. And so I did that whole year, I did not only the regular school classes, but I did online school as well, to get ahead. So I did my sophomore and my junior year in the same year. And I worked my butt off to get to where I was. And then junior year comes around, but I was a senior because I got ahead. So I was going to graduate on time. And so, yeah, I was a senior that year, graduated on time. So I worked my butt off doing 2 years in one just to join the Marine Corps.
Yeah. But that worked out. Because then you found me.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I don't know if I want our kids to go to public school, especially with what it's turning into.
Yeah. If the only, I've thought about this a lot. The only way that I would let my kids go to public school is if they went to the school district that I graduated from.
In Oregon?
Mm-hmm.
You think it was that good?
I had such a crap time in all the other schools that I went to the point where it like drove me to drop out.
Yeah.
The teachers didn't care about me. The other students were rude. And I just was done with it. I hated school. I hated going. And then being at this tiny school that I graduated from, the principal was, first of all, the principal of that school was the nicest, most caring lady ever. And she did so much for me. I'm not going to go into detail, but she really did so much for me. And I can't ever thank her enough for what she did. The teachers, they did so much for me. They stayed behind and stayed late to help me catch up. And they really took time to make sure that I was, I had to learn things really, really fast because I was doing 2 years in one. And they just helped me so much. And so
You think,
I think that the smaller, and then the students, it was like, it's so small that you don't really have a choice but to be friends or at least tolerate everybody.
so you liked that you liked the relationships, like the other students and then the teachers and stuff like that. What about what you actually learned? Do you feel like you learned a lot and you know a lot because you went to public school?
I learned a lot more at Crow than I did anywhere else. Um, and what I really liked about Crow was it not only taught like the basic like math and whatever, like those things were important, but they had classes like agriculture. You could take agriculture classes where they taught you how to garden. We had a school garden and you could garden. They had mechanics where you could go and work on cars, and they had welding. They had um cooking classes, like home ec is what it was called.
We had that. We had I think that's what it was called. And we had flower babies, which I think I told you about
Mm,
before. Where it's like it
yeah.
was literally a bag of flour that
Yeah.
kids would carry around. And then at the end of the year there would be flour all over the school because all the
Yeah.
kids were throwing their flower babies.
And what I really loved was those classes that I took. They were so important and they taught me so much. But we were required to take a financial class, and we went through the Dave Ramsey course, which really helped me. We were required to learn how to fill out a ballot, a voting ballot.
Yeah.
Um, no one else that
So
I went to school
practical.
with anywhere else learned that stuff.
Yeah.
It was practical stuff that we were going to use for sure. Since I left high school, I have not used mx plus b equals y or whatever.
You,
Like, I don't
you
even
got that
remember
right, but you
that.
got it backwards. That
Y
was good.
equals mx plus b. Like, I've not used that. If you're planning on going to college where you're going to use that stuff, sure, it's important. Learn it if that's what you plan to do. But I used those realistic, everyday, like practical lessons. I use those every day.
This is where you say, I'm about to expose big schools.
No. No.
It is an
Uh,
issue though. I think that it's there some big schools are really caught up in certain curriculums and making sure that the teachers are graded well as far as there's like certain things that the teachers get benefits based off of how well the students learn, and so
yeah.
they're just they just want the students to regurgitate information so that they look good.
Yeah.
And that's what our school felt like was the teachers really every test that we took that was for the state was like, you guys need to do well on this so that we look good.
Yeah.
It wasn't like you need to do well on this because we want you to be successful.
Yeah.
It's like we need funding, so do well on this test. Everyone show up, and I had a couple teachers that really it was nice to have them, but I think that they're what made it good, not it being public school.
Yeah.
But that's why I think that I think the majority of teachers are they don't care about what the how the students do once they leave their class,
Yeah.
which is kind of sad.
Yeah. It is sad. And that's not saying that all teachers are like that, but
No.
another thing that I really liked about the small school that I went to was that we had um we got to do really cool things that you wouldn't do at a large school. For homecoming every year, they would light a bonfire next to the football field.
Yeah,
We
that
had a
sounds illegal.
bonfire. Not illegal. We had a bonfire, and we had this giant bonfire pit, and we did mud races. They had this section out of the field that was surrounding uh our school. They had a section of that they would like get all the grass off. They would like till it, and then they would fill it with water, so it was just this giant mud pit. And we got to do mud races, and it was so much fun.
That's
All the
so
things that we
crazy.
got to do, it was so fun. And we had a pond at our school, and at lunch, I would take my little fishing pole with my buddies, and we would go and we would like fish in the pond.
Yeah, that's I don't know if that is the average school experience. I
It's
don't think it
not,
is.
but it was great, and that's the only place that I will let my kids go to school because it really shaped me into a way I would if I didn't go to that school in those vital years of like learning who I wanted to be and like becoming the person that I am, I would be in such a different position, and I would be such a different person. And I don't think that I would like the person that I am if I didn't go to that school. Because and my teachers, they cared about my character. They cared about the way that I acted and the things that I did outside of school. And they would call me out. I had this specific teacher who she would call me out. She'd be like, "You need to like get rid of your attitude. You need to stop thinking about things in such a negative way, and you need to just work your butt off." And I just I don't think I would be anywhere near the person I am today without that. I would be in such a worse position.
And you said that that was a smaller school?
Yeah,
How many people did you have in your class in that?
30 something. Like
Total.
34, I think. Yeah. Total. Yeah, my
So
graduating class.
I wonder if that's what it is. Like once a school gets too large, do they become ineffective at caring about the students and really
I think so.
nurturing them?
I think so. Because one teacher can only learn the life stories
Yeah,
of so many kids.
that's true. Is it too much to expect from teachers to have 30 students every hour for 8 hours a day or 7 hours a day, whatever it is?
Yeah.
To have hundreds of students coming in your classroom a day that might be why teachers just like, I don't care, make me look good, you know, uh, learn the information. I'm gonna give you a test at the end of the day. If you show me you know it, you move on to the next grade and I'll take on the next class. Versus like, yeah, one-on-one time with each student is, but
Mhm.
that might be what's so great about homeschool is that it's really more, you have the benefit of being super tailored in with each kid
Yeah.
versus public school where it's like you just kind of have to cast a wide net and
Yeah.
hopefully
And
some
see, I
students
would
succeed.
love for Phoebe and Shepard to experience like going to school and like doing the fun things like pajama day and like all the fun stuff and like
Forgot
being
about
with
that
other
stuff.
kids.
Did you guys have hat day?
But no.
You guys probably were just allowed to
We
wear
had Dr.
hats.
Seuss Day where we got to wear our pajamas to school, and for lunch or for breakfast they would serve green eggs and ham. They would like color it with food dye,
Yeah,
and they had bean bags everywhere in the gym, and we spent the entire day in the gym for the whole school day reading Dr. Seuss books.
that's crazy. As you said in high school?
No, that in elementary school.
Okay. I was like in high school to just read Dr. Seuss
And
is kind of
and
crazy.
at Crow in the small elementary school, they I remember this one time we could plan like our teacher was like, "You guys can plan a special thing that we get to do." And so we decided that everyone in the class brought tents, and we stayed the night at the school in the field in our tents.
What in the
And the
world?
teachers let us stay up as late as we wanted. We had s'mores, and it was just awesome. It was awesome.
So that
I
was
want Phoebe to
that was in high
experience that.
school? That
That
was
was in 5th grade.
in 5th grade. You were 10 years old sleeping in a field at school?
Yeah. I mean, there
That's
was parents
crazy.
that were chaperoning and everything, but like we got to play the teachers brought like glow sticks, like the glow stick necklaces and stuff, and we got to play hide and seek in the dark and tag in the dark, just running around the field. It was so fun.
Yeah, that sounds like a good school. I think that that's probably the exception though, sadly.
Yeah. I don't think that there's any place like it.
When I was in 5th grade, where did I go to 5th grade? Um, I don't even remember. But I had this is how our class worked. I think we had like 30 people in our class and we were all assigned to one teacher. And then
Mhm.
that teacher would yeah, so they would watch us the whole day and then go through different topics each hour or whatever it was.
Mhm.
And I feel like yeah, that was cool. Um, but yeah, we didn't do anything like that. The most fun we had was like recess and we would play football and that was as fun as Those times we did get laptops though. I remember that in 5th grade, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I remember I had a girlfriend in 5th grade and I would send her emails.
No, you
Yeah.
didn't.
I remember I got I was like writing her an email and she's across the room, you know. I think the way that I asked her out was I had like written on a note like, do you want to date, yes or no? Like that kind of thing. And I didn't even give it to her. I had a friend give it to her.
Have you heard this? I think it's George Strait. Uh, check yes or no. It's literally a song about that,
Yeah.
like giving a girl that he likes.
In 5th grade though? Or as an
Yeah,
adult?
he's talking about being a kid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you imagine doing that as an adult? That actually might be kind of
I'm
cute.
pretty sure that's what you did to me.
That might actually be kind of cute as I was thinking as an adult, like
Carlos
that's
used
a
to
good way
write me
to
these notes and he would just like leave them everywhere.
Yeah.
Every day he wrote me a little note and he would draw a little butterfly or a little heart on it.
Didn't I feel like I got you a wallet or something and had put some in there or
You
something
bought
like
me
that?
this purse that I wanted. It was like a purse
Oh
wallet,
yeah.
where it had like the little slits inside the purse, the card holders, and you filled that with a bunch of notes. I still
Yeah.
haven't opened all of those notes, and they're still in that purse.
That's dangerous. What if one of them was like, I hate you, don't speak to me ever again, and you just never read it? I don't think I wrote that, but what was I saying? Then we got it to I asked 5th grade. I had the girlfriend that so I was writing an email to her, and I remember I opened like the emojis tab or whatever, and I just started clicking a bunch of hearts, and then my teacher came over and just saw like 100 hearts on this email, and I don't remember what happened after that. I think I tried to play it off. Like,
Oh my god.
oh, I was just playing a joke.
Sorry, you used to email me. Do you remember that? So
No.
you just like regurgitated what you did with this 5th grade girlfriend to me.
I'm revealing all my secrets. I think I wrote her one note, and it was, do you want to date? And I think she didn't even respond. I think she gave me the note back and said like, ask me in person or something. And I was like, oh. And then I don't think I ever ended up asking her until like a couple months later or something. But yeah, I've given you better notes than that.
Yeah.
My notes to you were better. I don't remember ever
Yeah, they
sending
were
you emails
thoughtful.
though.
Yeah. You would send me emails on the little messenger thing on email.
Huh? Oh. Oh, on like Google.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Google message. That's different.
Gmail.
It was like a
It was
chat.
on
It
Gmail.
was like a chat.
It was like a chat, yeah. But yeah, I can't stop thinking about auditioning to play Farrah.
Maybe one day.
I want to
Start
so
small.
bad.
You know what though?
I
You
think I could act. I really think I do. I could.
like they give people chances.
Yeah.
Like you'll hear that's a lot of people will start just like, oh well, I just went and auditioned and they picked me and they thought I had looked
Mhm.
perfect. And
Yeah.
what would it? I'm sure you've looked into it. What's the process?
So it's through Hulu. But they don't have like auditions up yet. There's no date set for auditions, I guess. I don't even know if they're going to have auditions because I don't know, like they haven't picked a cast, but I don't know if they've like already in their mind picked the people that they wanted
Yeah,
and
because I
they're
feel
just
like
gonna
that
like
happens a lot
reach
too.
out to those people.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we want Zendaya and
Yeah.
like all these already famous people.
Yeah.
You have to find a show like Stranger Things where it's like they basically just created a bunch of
Mm. Yeah, see
celebrities.
like Euphoria. I heard that what was his name? I forgot. He passed away, but he played
Fez.
Fez, yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that they literally just saw him walking on the street and they were like, "Hey, you look perfect for this role that we want to do." And he's like, "I've never acted in my life. I'll give it a shot."
Yeah, wasn't he a drug addict or something? Or alcoholic or
I don't think so. I don't know.
I'll take that back.
Yeah, I don't know how he passed away, but
I just thought he
I
was
know it
like
was really sudden
yeah.
and unexpected.
Um But yeah, so if auditions come up, you should just
Well,
try
I'm
it.
trying to like Sarah J. Maas. If you ever
If
see
anyone
this,
knows her too,
if
tag her. Send
anybody
it.
knows, I would love to audition for you. I really think that I could act. I took theater in high school.
Whoa.
Yeah. I took theater in high school. I would love a shot.
That's your whole resume.
I would love a shot. And let me say this. If I ever have another child and it is a girl, I am going to name her Feyre. I've already
No.
decided.
PH.
Yes. We're PH because we're keeping the PH in our kids' names.
PB
but
Shepherd. Feyre.
her name will be Feyre. Yep.
What does
Already
Feyre mean?
decided. I don't know.
Wait a minute. It's just like fairy mixed around.
It's Feyre.
Yeah, but fairy,
Yeah.
Feyre.
Feyre. It sounds like an Irish name kinda.
Sounds like an
Feyre.
Irish person saying
Feyre.
fairy.
How do you say that in an Irish accent?
Fairy.
No, Feyre.
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 I don't think that's Irish.
It sounds like it
Feyre.
would be Irish or
Feyre.
Scottish.
Feyre.
Feyre. Feyre.
Wait, we're back at accents again.
Yeah. Every episode.
Yeah, good conversation. I feel like that went well.
Yeah. Again, Sarah J. Maas. I would love to audition.
Wherever it goes, huh? I don't know. Maybe you can start practicing your acting skills just randomly throughout the day, and
Yeah.
we'll see.
Just go into character.
Yeah. No, it makes me think of La La Land, where what's her name?
Emma Stone.
Emma Stone. She went in. The beginning of the movie is she's trying to get a role for something,
Yeah.
and she goes and auditions. She like spilled coffee all over herself, and she's like wearing a coat, but she had like black pants and a white shirt, like a button-up shirt or something.
Mhm.
And then she goes and auditions, and they're just like ignoring her basically.
Yeah.
And then she walks out to the hall, and there's a bunch of other girls that look exactly like her.
Yeah.
Like they all have red hair, white button-up shirt, and black pants. And yeah, so you say that like it matches you, but I just picture that like you go and audition, and there's gonna be 100 other girls that are 5'2" with brown hair.
But you know what I have that those girls don't have?
Me.
Trauma.
You think that qualifies you for?
Yeah, I've been through some sheesh.
Stuff. Yeah.
I have. And I relate to Farah because I went from my parents literally being rich, living in a giant house, to having absolutely nothing. That happened to me. That's part of my story is I went from having everything as a child to having nothing. Having nothing.
Before I let you audition for this role, is there any sexual things that she does?
Yes.
How many people does she kiss?
2.
And does it go further than that?
Sorry, 3. Because
She
in the
kisses
beginning,
3 different people.
in the beginning, she's like with this guy. I don't even know if she kisses him, but she's like with this guy that it's like just like for benefits or whatever. But it doesn't really go into
Relatable.
detail on like them like doing it or anything. But like there's 2 people specifically that she like
Gets dirty with, huh?
right. But I'm thinking,
Are they fairies?
Yes.
All right, then I'm cool with that.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Is one a wolf?
No.
That's kind of weird.
But I'm thinking, like, if I were to do that, if I were to audition
double.
and possibly get a role, stunt
Or
double,
body double.
for like
You
that
call it a stunt double.
body double. That's what I meant.
I think it's
a
body
stunt.
double.
But yeah, like obviously, like for the parts that are like my face, like yeah, I could do that. But like for the like nitty gritty parts, like the
Nitty gritty.
getting down and dirty, I don't know if I would be comfortable with that. It's not like you're actually doing it, and they make you wear stuff so that you're not like actually naked and exposed. But I don't know.
I think
I definitely would have to. This body's not made for TV. Let me tell you that. After 2 kids,
yeah.
no.
It makes me think of Game of Thrones when Cersei. She was
Wasn't her body CGI?
yeah, she was
Yeah.
naked walking through the streets, and they had just basically placed her head on
Yeah.
another woman's body.
Yeah, why can't I just do that?
Yeah.
Why not?
Or just yeah. I don't know. Maybe Survivor is the way to go.
No, I want to play Favor. But what if they're like shooting in like the UK or something crazy like that?
Yeah, I would.
That would be insane.
Then I would probably have to take care of the kids. It depends how much you make. If they offer you like $10 million to play this character for the next, because there's 5 books,
Yeah.
so they'd probably have at least a few seasons out of that.
Mm-hmm.
Give you a couple $1 million. I'd be like, all right, I'll be a stay-at-home dad.
Yeah.
If you made millions, I'll be stay-at-home dad. I'll watch the kids.
Yeah. Anyway, stay tuned to see where my acting dreams of playing Feyre
Yeah.
Archeron go.
See wherever it goes. I like where this conversation got.
Yeah, me too.
Wherever it got. Goed?
Went.
I like where this went.
Yeah.
But yeah, let us know what we should talk about. We need help. If you know someone or if you are interested in being interviewed by us, we'd like to have conversations with more people. I'd like to speak to people who are qualified in things like homeschooling or
Yeah.
marriage, counseling, finances would be cool. If you're listening and you know anyone who would be perfect for that, then let us know. Reach out to us, DM us, whatever it is. Thank you guys for listening. We love you guys, and see you in a week.
Yes. Bye.
Peace.